wild as flame.
Hello and welcome to another starting guide to Total War Warhammer 2. Today we'll be playing the Heralds of Ariel, led by the Sisters of Twilight, on Very Hard, Very Hard. Let's go! We open here and we'll pop our Spellsinger into the army and we'll attack the city. This is way better to fight manually, but honestly we really only need the Sisters here. We'll set everybody up in the forest, so they're hiding, and then the Sisters and the Hawk Riders can do a lot of the damage and waste some of the ammo, so that there isn't that much left to do once the enemies reach our lines. But when the Sisters are ready to fire, they can fire their multi-shot, which does tons of damage. Then try to aim for blobs with the Hawk Rider attack. Good victory there. We'll go ahead and occupy the Heathland. Build the foraging groves for the extra growth and reduction to building costs in our capital. We will recruit a life spellweaver lord, and luckily we actually got knowledgeable here. We are going to hoard those. We're going to pop the Sisters out a little bit behind the city, and then the spellweaver is going to be in the city. We can pop this lord into the Tree Singer of Life office, and we'll recruit another lord where we wouldn't mind knowledgeable. We'll go ahead and get growth on her because she's going to be here for the turn. Here I think it's worthwhile to get the Dreaming Ring just for some extra winds of magic, replenishment, and don't forget to put that item on. In the Witchwood, we'll go ahead and build the grapevines for some extra money. Turn 2. We'll move this lord to go capture that settlement, and we'll hop over towards Val's Anvil with the Sisters and the Spellweaver. We can see a big army has popped up here, so what I'm going to do is set up a trap. I was hoping to get raid stance here, not sure what happened with that movement. And then the Sisters will be in ambush right next to this lone Spellweaver. This Spellweaver will capture Ice Rock Gorge as soon as she can, so we'll search the ruins for some extra money. And then we can recruit another knowledgeable Spellweaver for extra wins. We did successfully ambush. It's probably best to fight this manually, but this looks pretty well in our favor. That was a surprising auto-resolve. But the point is the army is dead, and we got some good money. Turn 3, so now we can attack the city. And pretty much the same as the other battle, it's very easy. The Sisters do most of the work. So we'll occupy this Heathland too, and then we'll move the Spellweaver forward just a little bit, but still within reinforcement, just in case something happens. Turn 5, looks like the Sisters should be able to hit Hag Hall. Not sure why it's not letting us go through there, but luckily we had our Spellweaver a little bit closer and she can launch the attack. So right now it says that we can't attack immediately because we don't have a siege attacker, but we can transfer all the units to the Spellweaver, and then in the Forge of Daith we'll get the Dragon's Breath, which will allow us to attack immediately. Since this is a siege and it's a bit different, I'll show it, but it's really not a complicated battle. The Sisters are the strongest part of this army. The Spellweaver has a really cheap spell and tons of magic, so it's quite easy to just wear them down. We don't even really need Val's Anvil in this particular battle because we can stand out of the way of the towers, but it can do some damage and potentially break a tower. Alright, another great victory. We have their capital. We'll go ahead and occupy this too. We're gonna go up the top part of the research tree. I just find it's more valuable there. We'll definitely go for more movement range. And we forced a rebellion in this province, and it will come next turn. Turn 6, we can see that the beastmen look like they're approaching one of our cities. They're fairly weak, so what we can do is recruit an ancient treeman. Now the Sisters and the Spellweaver are going to attack the rebellion. We will farm them for 1 turn. Easy victory there. We'll level up the Witchwood. Turn 7. We do have a forest encounter and we still have to finish off this rebellion, so I'm going to attack with the Spellweaver. We can take the money, and now we didn't waste the movement to the Sisters, so they can go get the forest encounter. That is one of the stronger forest encounters. I'm surprised at that. It is an ambush, so we definitely have the advantage here. So here I'm just using the terrain to protect one of our flanks, and the Eagle's job is going to be to run down things that are routing. We'll run down what we can here because we will have to fight them again. Really not a bad victory. Unfortunately, they moved too far, but what we can do is use the Spellweaver, who still has movement, to launch the attack, and the Sisters will reinforce. So now we're going to bring both armies back to try to deal with the beastmen. We'll use the hero to scout out where the beastmen are. They're probably hiding somewhere. Unfortunately, we didn't find them, and we don't want to walk into an ambush. So what we can do is try to lay a trap for them and have the Sisters in ambush and the Spellweaver look totally tasty right next to them. We did lay a successful ambush on the beastmen. We do have more beastmen coming, so we can send our armies over there to reinforce, and then we'll have that tree man who's been sitting around launch the attack. There we go. Another good battle. So this guy got a level, but he's done for the time being. This lord is going to hang around here because the dark elves we were fighting still exist. We can level up the Oak of Ages. Turn 11. Bleakholds was destroyed, I'm assuming by Nagaryth. So now we can move on to other enemies. I'm going to move north. Turn 12. We got a Whisper in the Woods near the Oak of Ages, but we'll deal with that later. What we're going to do is try to set up an ambush trap up here. We can see there's an army in Starreg-Carr, so we'll put the sisters in ambush and bring a second lord up closer. So we'll declare war on Clarkarond before we end the turn, just to make sure they come attack us. Our ambush failed, but we still drew them out of the city. Turn 13. We can get lightning strike on the sisters, but we don't really need it right now. I'd rather reduce upkeep for the time being. And now we'll attack Starreg-Carr, and we'll go ahead and sack this because we want a couple levels here. So now we'll take Starreg-Carr and we'll start making our way to the capital. Here, it's probably best to get the world route pathway so that we can recruit a little bit. In the Witchwood, we're going to level up our growth building. We'll level up the Witchwood and we'll get the Waystalker building up. Turn 15. We can't quite reach Clarkarond, so we will lay an ambush trap if we can, and we'll try to recruit a couple more units. Turn 16, we'll get the Dragon's Breath so that we can launch the attack on Clarkarond immediately. And again, it's a pretty easy battle here. Good victory. We'll go ahead and occupy this. Now we'll get the Waystone building for the extra growth faction-wide, and we'll recruit some more units. We'll get the jewelry building online. In order to try to recapture Val's Anvil, what we're going to do is recruit a lord that if we lose, we don't mind. We want her to be able to survive even if they take the settlement. So we do have to fight this manually, and we'll basically sacrifice the garrison in order to get army losses on our lord. So she will just be outside the city next turn, but alive. So what we're going to do is have these sisters help with the attack on Venom Glade, but the Spellweaver will launch the attack. So now the sisters can force march closer to where our Spellweaver will be. They're not quite reinforcing each other yet, but from here, if the Spellweaver retreats, the sisters will be in range at that point. We'll get higher Lord Recruit rank. Probably time to get Lightning Strike on our Spellweaver. So like I said, we retreat initially, and now we're getting reinforcement from the sisters. So we'll hide the Spellweaver to start, and we can see a great reinforcement zone with the river that kind of blocks movement a bit, which means that we can shoot them pretty easily, since our archers and the sisters are the biggest damage dealers. Honestly, a great victory there. We have done some serious damage to them. Now we can bring everybody in to finish them off. And now we can reclaim Val's Anvil. There we go, we got our settlement back. And now Clarkarond is very weak, and we can go try to finish them off. Tretch has declared war on us. Turn 19. We'll have the sisters move north so that she can deal with the Dark Elves and with Tretch. So we've unlocked the quest for the search for our dragon. We're going to sit and replenish and recruit a bit first. Turn 20. So this Spellweaver can come and start recruiting. So she would theoretically be ready to do the Ritual of Awakening in the Witchwood. And the sisters can still be off doing whatever. We're a bit weak, so this isn't ideal, but I want to show off the battle here to get our dragon.
Where's my dragon, cloven ones?
Patience, Arahan. Behold, the horned shaman performs some dark rite with their obscene stones. I know not the intent of these servants of chaos, but it surely bodes ill.
More pointless busy work, Nestra. How typically tedious of you. Well, at least I get to slaughter a few beastmen.
I sense a far greater reward than indulging your childish bloodthirst, sister. Kethenhar is near, but bound and in shadow. If we can stop this fell ritual, perhaps our winged friend shall at last be revealed to us.
I thought I smelled something else too. In the trees. No, it's probably nothing. Let's go get our dragon back. For the forest!
You don't get to set up for this fight, so just try to use the environment to prevent flanking and take care of their worst unit, which is probably going to be this Cygor. As long as you have some protection on your sides, which I don't actually have that much of, I moved a bit too far forward, you should be okay here. The Beastmen have low leadership, so they're pretty easy to scare. And when he's available, you can call up your dragon, who can tank just about everything here. Not surprising that that's a Pyrrhic victory. We also lost the wizard. But like I said, you would probably want a full stack for this, so probably just a couple turns later. I just wanted to show you how quickly you can do it. So if we want, we can just recruit the units again and merge some so that we're at better health. But realistically, you can deal with this so early. So it's turn 20. We're about to unlock the Witchwood Ritual of Awakening. We have a province that's a buffer between our enemies and our heathlands. So I think this is in really good shape. But that's going to be it for this 20 turn guide to the Sisters of Twilight. If you like this and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. You know how YouTube works. Goodbye.